Right now, someone is thinking about you. You don't know who. You don't know what they're thinking. But somewhere in the back of your mind, you're already running the calculation. You're replaying something you said 3 days ago. You're wondering how you came across in that meeting. You're editing the next thing you're going to say before you've even said it. And here's the part that will genuinely change how you see yourself. You can't stop. Not because you're insecure, not because you care too much, but because your brain was literally built to do this. The obsession with what other people think of you is not a flaw in your psychology. It is the feature that kept your ancestors alive long enough to become you. Let's go back, way back. Imagine you are a human living roughly 100,000 years ago. You don't live alone. Alone means dead. Alone means no protection from predators, no one to help you find food in a drought, no one to care for you when you're sick. Your survival is not about you. It is entirely about your group. And your place inside that group determines everything. If the group likes you, you eat. If the group trusts you, you get protected. If the group turns against you, you are finished. Social rejection for your ancestors was not embarrassing. It was fatal. This is the context your brain evolved inside. And this is why neuroscientist Matthew Lieberman, who spent decades studying the social brain at UCLA, found something extraordinary in his research. The brain processes social pain using the exact same neural circuits it uses to process physical pain. Being left out of a group doesn't just hurt metaphorically. Your brain registers it as damage. The same alarm goes off. Think about that for a second. When someone ignores your message, when you sense someone doesn't like you, when you feel excluded from a conversation, your brain is treating it the same way it treats a broken bone. Not symbolically, neurologically. The pain is real because for most of human history, social exclusion carried the same death sentence as a physical wound. So your brain built a system. A permanent, always-on monitoring system dedicated entirely to tracking your social standing. What do people think of me right now? Am I accepted? Am I at risk? Psychologists call this hypervigilance to social threat, and you run it continuously, whether you realize it or not. This is why you can replay an awkward comment from 5 years ago with perfect clarity, but can't remember what you had for breakfast on Tuesday. Your brain didn't archive the awkward moment because it was important. It archived it because it was a potential threat signal. The system flagged it, cataloged it, and kept it accessible in case you needed to learn from it. Your memory is not neutral. It is curated by survival. Now here is where it gets stranger. Psychologist Nicholas Epley at the University of Chicago has spent years studying something he calls the illusion of transparency. The false belief that what's happening inside your head is visible to the people around you. You feel nervous, so you assume people can see you're nervous. You feel awkward, so you assume the entire room is watching your awkwardness unfold in slow motion. You feel embarrassed, so you believe the embarrassment is written across your face like a headline. It almost never is. In study after study, Epley found that people dramatically overestimate how much others notice their internal states. When participants were asked to give speeches while nervous, they rated their visible anxiety as much higher than observers actually detected. When people thought they were obviously blushing or stumbling over words, observers barely noticed at all. You are living inside your own head. Everyone else is living inside theirs. But your brain doesn't operate on that logic. Your brain was built in a world where a single misstep in your social group could cost you your life. So it runs the monitoring system at full power, at all times, even when the stakes are an awkward joke in a conference room and not actual exile from the tribe. This is the spotlight effect. The feeling that you are always on stage, always being watched, always being evaluated. Psychologists Thomas Jelovich and Kenneth Savitsky named and documented this cognitive bias across multiple studies, finding that people consistently believe they are far more noticed than they actually are. You walk into a room wearing the wrong thing and feel certain that every single person clocked it. The data says maybe 2 people noticed, and they forgot within 30 seconds. Your spotlight is not real. But the spotlight feels real because your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Now here's the twist that changes everything. The very same system that makes you obsess over what people think of you is also the system responsible for your deepest human capacities. The ability to read a room. The ability to sense when a friend is upset before they say a word. The ability to understand what someone means beneath what they're actually saying. These are not separate skills. They are the same machinery running in a different direction. Lieberman calls this the social brain. It is not a bug sitting on top of a rational mind. It is the foundation the rational mind was built on. Humans did not develop big brains to do math or build cities. We developed big brains primarily to manage the extraordinary complexity of living inside groups, tracking alliances, predicting behavior, maintaining reputation, reading faces, navigating conflict. You are a social calculation engine wearing a body. The thinking about what people think of you is not a distraction from your intelligence. It is your intelligence doing what it was originally built to do. But here is where modern life creates the dysfunction. Your social monitoring system was calibrated for a group of roughly 150 people. This is the number Robin Dunbar, the British anthropologist at Oxford, identified as the cognitive limit of stable human social relationships. It's now known as Dunbar's number, 150 people. A number your brain can actually process, where you know everyone's history, everyone's relationships, where you stand with each person, and roughly what they think of you at any given time. Now think about the world you actually live in. You post something online, and 400 people can see it. You walk into a company of 3,000 employees. You exist in a city of millions. You live with a social brain calibrated for 150 relationships, trying to process thousands of simultaneous social signals it was never built to handle. The anxiety you feel is not irrational. It is a perfectly rational system running on corrupted input. The algorithm is working. The data is just impossibly large, and social media makes this catastrophically worse. Every metric is visible. Every post has a number attached to it. Your worth rendered in real time, in public, with a counter that anyone can see. Your brain's social monitoring system, the one that evolved to track subtle shifts in the mood of 150 familiar faces, is now being asked to process a public verdict from hundreds of strangers simultaneously. The ancient system cannot distinguish between the village that might exile you and the comment section that doesn't like your opinion. To your nervous system, they feel the same. The alarm goes off either way. This is why you feel it in your chest when a post underperforms. This is why you refresh. This is why you rehearse the captions, read the replies, and check back hours later to see if the numbers changed. Your survival instinct is running, fully online, completely activated, in a context where your literal survival is not at stake at all. Understanding this is the first step to loosening its grip. Because once you see the system, you can start to separate the signal from the noise. Not every social judgment is exile. Not every awkward moment is a threat signal worth filing permanently. Not every number on a screen is a verdict on your place in the tribe. The 100,000-year-old alarm in your brain is exquisitely sensitive. It was designed for a world where a single social error could end you. You don't live in that world anymore. You live in a world where the most powerful thing you can do is learn to acknowledge the alarm without obeying it every time. Feel it fire. Recognize what it is. Then ask it, is this an actual threat, or is this an ancient system responding to a modern world it was never built to understand? Most of the time, the answer is the second one. And somewhere right now, in the back of your mind, someone is thinking about you. But not nearly as much as you think they are. Because they are too busy thinking about what you think of them. That's always been the deal. It was the deal 100,000 years ago, and it is the deal today. The difference is, now you know what the deal actually is.